Vicky. Nice and early. Good to see you here. Oh, and Debbie's early, and we have Janice early. Wow, Janice from Arizona. Hello. I wish I was in Arizona right now. It's very, very cold, especially in my studio. Um, it's nice to have big windows, but sometimes there's a disadvantage in the middle of the winter. I hope everybody's doing well and getting ready for whatever holidays you celebrate. I think I'm pretty ready. Just a few last minute gifts and crafty things. A beautiful day today. Please don't tell me what temperature it was. I might cry. Although it was not too cold during the day today. It was a bit rainy and overcast, but not too bad. So we're just going to wait till we get a few on. We're 6 minutes in, so we've got about 6 minutes to let everybody find us. I hope everybody is planning to show us all of your Christmas creations on our either here at Papercrafters Workshops Facebook page or on the VIP page, which is Papercrafters. Oh, I'm always forgetting what it is. Oh, it's right here. Papercrafters Workshop. We also have. So we have our media here. Maybe I'll go in close. So those of you who are just getting on can find us a little better with some more information. And in the meantime, I am going to try to, Papercrafters Inner Circle is our group. So Papercrafters Workshop is our page where we do a lot of this kind of thing. And Papercrafters Inner Circle is where we do our connecting with customers and seeing what they're working on. And that's, I think, what I love the most is to see what everybody's doing. Hi, Carmen. Nice to see you're on. So it's just, I find sometimes with the holidays, people get consumed by shopping or card making and that kind of thing and forget to just, relax and enjoy what they're doing. And also this is a great time of year for people come up with hidden gems that they've done for years, and nobody knows about them except their family. And so it's great if you can share those hidden gems that you make at this time of year. I think we'd even be happy to get recipes. I know I would. Not that I'm a cook of any kind. People who know me know that the only thing I create is craft and art. I don't create food things, but it's certainly worth a share on Papercrafters Inner Circle. And yeah, so we got about 3 minutes, and we're just going to. Now, once I get started, it's always kind of strange because as soon as I get started, for some reason I tend to lose the chat. So if you have any questions, I'm sure that either Sherry or Darlene or Tiffany or Alexis will be on and will maybe be able to give you answers to some of your questions as I'm going along. But I do take time after the live to go through everything and make sure that I've answered everybody's questions. Hello, Teresa. And because I don't know what happens when I click the button, everything sort of just disappears and I'm on my own. So please remember to ask questions in the chat and be patient, please. I usually get back within an hour of the live. if there isn't somebody already answering your questions in the live. Just a couple of minutes more. So I know that Sherry sent out an email the other day, Thursday or Friday, and wow, it was packed with some things that are coming up. And you're getting a double whammy of learning live tonight, or not tonight, this week, because I am doing it on Monday night when I normally do it on the first Tuesday, and Alexis is doing it tomorrow, and she's usually the second Tuesday, and then we have Darlene next Monday and Sherry next Tuesday. So we're really packing it in, trying to squeeze it all in before the holidays, because we enjoy doing these and you know, just showing you what we're working on, basically. And sometimes it's new product, things that we found that we really like, different ways to use things that we really like that are not in the norm of what we normally make. So there's often really interesting things to learn and to do in these learning lives at 8 on Tuesdays, usually, but not this week or this month. All right, Janice, I bought the Lily Crafter tag due to your demo. Oh, I'm so glad. I hope you're loving it. Made Christmas ornaments. Oh, what a great idea. A picture on one side and Christmas paper on the other side. Wow, that's fantastic. I hope you're loving it as much as I love it. It is the most useful tool. It's not the most useful tool, because my little mini guillotine is the most useful tool, but it's certainly in my pack of tools to go when when I'm creating things away from home, because it is so versatile. There's so many different things you can do. You can do tags, but you can also corner round or corner square corners of paper as an alternative to paper rounding or corner rounding. So there's a bunch of different things. Oh, Tiffany's on board. Hi, Tiffany. I was just talking about you. I'm hoping that if ladies have questions in the chat, that you'll be able to help me with some of the answering, because I often lose the chat. Hi, Diane. I just saw you last week, Diane. I'm glad to see you in the chat. Oh, that means it's time to start. There we go. All righty. So we have some newer people in the room tonight. So I just want to make sure that I've left this up long enough for people to see our web address, our customer service email, phone number. We have Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as well. So please check out those areas, because you'll find all kinds of interesting information. I'm going to raise my camera up so we can see a little bit more of the page, or the desk anyway. Whoa, there we go. And I've got a brand new mat on today, ladies. I'm trying to make it easier for people to see everything, because I live by my mat. It was funny, I was with a friend cropping on the weekend, and we found that we didn't have a mat underneath, and it really sort of stunted our creativity, because normally we just kind of line up the paper with whatever's going on. Oops, I'm bringing this too early. And we didn't have them, so we had to use rulers. So tonight we're going to create this cute little crafty gift. So it's a Post-it note holder, and I have my stickers all over it for measurement, and it has a photograph on it. So mine has a photograph of my pup. I have several photographs that look like this, but they're of her at different ages, and she's getting old. I noticed in this one when I was doing it the other day. So anyway, it sits on your tabletop, and you just pull off a Post-it note when you need it. And a great gift for women or men or kids to have on their desk, and as a reminder of the family. And it's small enough that you can pop it into an envelope and mail it. little thick. You might want to throw a little extra stampage on there, but or postage on there, but it definitely will fit in an envelope. So without any further ado, I had suggested in my introduction email that you have 12 by 12 paper and then 2 coordinating cardstocks, 8.5 by 11 paper. The only reason I said 8.5 by 11 is just to let you know that you didn't have to waste a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. You could just use a smaller piece of cardstock if you had them. I often get the 8.5 by 11 just for card making. It's easier than trying to, I always feel like I have way too much waste when I do it with a 12 by 12. Anyway, so we're going to start using our cardstock as the base. And this will be, the pattern paper will be our decor that goes on top. So with our cardstock, let's see, what am I doing here? Just want to make sure I have my notes. So I'm going to cut 2. I'm doing 2 at the same time because what I do is I use both sets of cardstock on 2 different pieces of pattern paper. And I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. But we're going to get 2 bases out of these. So grab your cutter. The first one we are going to cut 4 1/4 by 11, and I think this might be a 12-inch paper, 11 and 3/4 inch paper. That's a new one. But I'm going to go 4 1/4 on my cutter, and I'm just going to cut a long strip. So it's 4 1/4 by whatever length it is you have, and then I'm going to cut that length down to 11 inches. So 4 1/4 by 11. And this paper is actually 3/4 of an inch too long. I don't know. This piece I'm going to keep aside because that's going to be the decor for the other colored background. And here is the other colored background. So I'm going to cut that again, 4 1/4. And this is an 8.5 by 11, so I don't have to do any trimming. So this is just straight 4 1/4 by 11. So now I have 2 bases. I'm going to do all my steps at the same time. So I'm going to get out my folder or my score pal, and I think I might need to raise up just a little more. There we go. And I'm going to use my score pal, and I'm going to put both papers, because they are now both 8.5 or 4 1/4 by 11. I'm going to line them side by side, and I'm going to score them. I'm going to score one at 5 inches. So from here to here is 5 inches. And I'm just going to go lightly down once, twice, 3 times. You don't want to push too hard because you can risk cutting through the paper. And then the next score line I'm going to make is at 8 1/4, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 8 1/4. So I go from my 5 and I look for the number 8 and then 1/4, again, lightly scoring. Okay, and I just realized something. Okay, so this should have been 5 1/2. So not a problem. Let's just pop these 2 out. My first score line was incorrect, but we can fix it. So I'm going to turn my paper upside down, and it's going to get covered anyway. Turn my paper upside down. I'm going to take my bone folder, and I'm just going to flatten out the fold I made on both sides, and it disappears. So you can still see the vagueness of it, but you cannot see the indent. And I'm going to put that back in there. Do the same thing. So I'm correcting the 5 because it should have been 5 1/2. All right. And then we're going to try that again. So I have my 8 1/4, that's no problem, but I have to do my 5 1/2 properly. All right, make sure I have these lined up. It's going over the other one, so like that. Okay, so we're going at 5 1/2. So from here to 5 1/2, and lightly 3 times, 2, 3 times, and then this is an 8 1/4, which we've already done, but you can just go over that again. All right, so now we have our indented folds, and you will not see the other fold because it will be underneath your cover paper. That is all the folding we need to do, so you can put your scoreboard away. Oh, I mustn't have dismissed that properly. There, sorry about that. Okay, so now we're going to fold at the 5 1/2 mark. Make sure you do not do the one that we flattened. So we're doing it at the 5 1/2 mark. You're just going to make sure that that score line is nice and stiff, and you'll notice that it's halfway. Okay, so that it's equal. And then we're going to fold the 8 1/4 line in as well. And you're going to make sure that that fold line is nice and folded. So 5 1/2 line. This paper, I think, was just a slight bit bigger. Okay, and then the 8 1/4 line is going to go in as well. And make sure they're nice and stiff. Now I'm using about a 100-pound paper here. You can probably get away with like a basil paper, an 80-pound cardstock. I wouldn't go less than that. This one was made with pattern paper, which was heavy pattern paper, but it is a little bit floppy, and I think it's a little better when you have some weight to it. Alrighty, so we're going to put our pages in front of us like this, and we're going to start now with the decorating. So we have, I just want to take my notes off as I go. We did that. Alrighty. So I now am going to cut from this paper 4 pieces that are 4 by 5 1/4 inches. No. Yes. Okay, can I make it any more confusing for you? I'm just going to take my zip strip off first. Help my brain settle. Okay. So our pages are 4 1/4 across. So we want to show some of the black background and gray background. So we are going to call our inner paper 4 inches. Our paper is 5 1/2 long. So again, we're going to take that 1/4 inch off the measurement and make it 5 1/4. So it is 4 by 5 1/4. And I like to cut the smaller first because I know I can get 3/4 out of a paper of 12. So 4. And I'm going to need 2 of these, and then I'm going to use the back side of this after I cut this 4 again. You'll see what I mean in a moment. Okay, this paper you can put aside in your scraps. And now I am going to be cutting these as if they're 2 different things. So I need 5 1/4 and 5 1/4, and I'm just going to put the 2 of them on the mat at the same time. Make sure they're not overlapping, because that will give you an inaccurate cut. And we're doing 5 1/4 for both of them. So there's one for that and one for that. And then we're doing another 5 1/4 for both of them. like so. And keep these aside. And there we have it, our 2 base papers. So one base paper is going to go on the inside. Now it's up to you whether you round the corners or not. If you were, I don't know, I think that, hang on a second, I'm going to put this one on here and this one on here. There we go. I like that better. Okay, so I have one side on this and the other side on that. And we're just going to stick this down with regular adhesive. Oh, there it is. So on this one, I'm just going to do 3 lines of adhesive. You don't have to do that much if you don't want. And I am going to center that on my page, if I can. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. 3 lines. And I'm going to, whoops, a little bit of adhesive sticking out there. And I'm going to line this up here. Now these are going to be more masculine than other ones I have done. All right, there we go. Okay. Now, this is the tricky part. We have left over our 2 pieces that are going to go on the tops of our card, but we are not going to adhere half of the paper. So this is how I do it. I flip it to the side that I need to do some adhesive on, and I just center this on the page. I can see where my fold line is, so right across the top of the fold line I just put a strip, and then I put 3 strips going down and a little bit in the middle like that. I know that when I'm going to flip this over now, it's only going to stick on that bottom portion. Oops. Okay, so lining this up, top and bottom. Make sure your picture, if you have like a pattern that has a direction, you want that pattern to go in the direction of in the same direction as what it should appear when you're looking at it. So now, because I managed that gluing only on half the first time, this now is not got any glue on it, and it's ready to go to the next step. This one we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to flip it over to the side I'm going to glue, and then I'm lining it up in the paper, giving it space. I can see where my fold line is here and here, and I'm just going to go right across below my fold line and then down to the bottom.